All right, you can carry on.
Oh, okay. So everyone can tell me, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So before we start the class, I want to briefly like ask you a question. I want to get your idea or your perspective on what cybersecurity is all about. What does cybersecurity means to you? So I'm going to have like two questions, and then I'll have like two people answer each of the questions. So the first one is, what do you understand by the word cybersecurity? And the second one is, can security be 100% achieved in an organization? So if you have the answers or if you want to attempt these questions, you can just like raise up your hand and then unmute yourself and talk. Okay, Abayomi, you can talk. Go ahead.
I would like to answer certain question.
Okay.
I hear you.
Look, background is a bit noisy.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I want to answer that second question. I talk about security and financial building institute. The answer is
Yeah.
no.
Sorry, I'm not hearing you guys clearly. Sorry. I don't know if my connection.
Are you hearing me now?
Sorry, Adidapo, you're breaking.
Yeah,
Like your voice
clear.
is not clear at all.
Are you hearing me? Hello?
I can hear you now. Yeah, you're audible.
Like cybersecurity in an organization cannot be offered so much because no matter how much they try to protect the infrastructure and the network, they are important for their ability. And that is why there must be a cybersecurity professional that will protect the infrastructure and the network so as to prevent its security attack so that attack actors will not discover the security vulnerabilities before cybersecurity do. That's why cybersecurity processes are ongoing effect. It's something that must be done from that must be doing that must be going on from time to time. So they must continue to try to see the security vulnerability on the network and their infrastructure so that they are found as first.
Okay. Interesting. Does anybody have like a different opinion or something to add to this? Yeah, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Okay, I'm supporting Aidipo because I it can never be 100% achieved because no matter how good the cybersecurity analyst is there in the office, the weakest link to the systems are human. So no matter how good you say you are, a human must always be there to create something like a phishing attack. We can attack them through phishing and making them create a vulnerability into a system. So cannot be achieved 100%.
Okay. I love this. So the first one, nobody has attempted the first question, which is, what do you understand by the word cybersecurity?
I will say cybersecurity is a way of defending like a organization from cyber attacks, hackers, defending information, protecting information of an organization from being exposed to the open world or outside. That's just it for me.
Okay. Yeah, you all are all correct. Security cannot be 100% achieved in an organization because, like, we have vulnerabilities that come up every day. Oh my God. We have vulnerabilities that come up every day, which Adedapo, if I'm correct, mentioned zero-day attacks. These are something that has not been in existence. It's just something that is all coming from the new time, like for like let me say, it's something that is being seen for the first time. So we don't have like a security that would kind of protect that thing beforehand. So is when that thing has already existed. It's when that thing has, oh my God. Oh, I'm calling. Larry, please, can you help me share your screen?
All right, give me a few minutes.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry for. So I was saying that security is not something that can be 100% achieved because there are some vulnerabilities, there are some threats that you cannot really mitigate beforehand. Threats like vulnerabilities like zero-day attack. So all these things, they've not yet existed. It's something you have to yeah, it's something that has to like come up on its own. Then security researchers or people that are in charge of bringing out security solutions will now go ahead, discuss, and then bring out plans on how to like mitigate such risks or security concerns. And then we also have yeah, vulnerabilities, and also have like human beings as the weakest link, just like I think it's Salvation mentioned. Yeah, he mentioned that humans are like the weakest links. Even if you like tighten technologies, tighten your systems, tighten them security around everything. If humans don't have like this, if they are not security aware, they can be easily be tricked. They can easily be misled. They can easily be lured into disclosing something they're not meant to disclose. So in cybersecurity, security is not 100% achieved. And I also like the what Salvation mentioned when it comes to like cybersecurity, definition of what cybersecurity is all about. Cybersecurity is the art of protecting, just like the word itself means. Cyber means like an online, like a big online space. And then security is you trying to protect that online space so that things don't go wrong, so that the threat actors don't come in, don't see an opportunity to come in to like try to attack us. And even if they attack us, like how prepared are you? How robust are your security solutions to like tackle all these things even before it leads to like a major damage? So that is what cybersecurity is all about. Cybersecurity is not like a solution or like a career path that seems or wants to like let me say that wants like is a career path that wants to like fight all these threats and risks. So it does not promise you like a world or like a cyber safe that is free from threats or vulnerabilities. Definitely, all these threats, all these vulnerabilities, all these risks are going to come. But then your cyber security is like, how prepared are you to tackle all these things when they show up? So that's my take on what cyber security is all about. But then I'm waiting for my slides so that I can continue from where I stopped. Okay, yes, I can see it now. So before we start the class, I would want this class to be as interactive as possible. If you have something to chip in, you can say something, raise your hand and you can say something. You can add so that we don't have like just one person talking. I like my classes very interactive. Yeah. So this is going to be like a very beginner friendly class. So some of us may have come up across all these concepts before, and some of us may not. But then there is no harm in trying to like take in new knowledge or trying to learn from another person or see things from another perspective. So I would advise us like be very open-minded and try to grasp as much things as we can from this class. Lara, please can you go to the next slide? So why does cybersecurity, why is it important? Why does it matter? So imagine you wake up one morning and then you discover that your bank account and you discover your WhatsApp is locked. Please, can you mute yourself, Kazim? Thank you. So your email password has been changed and someone is using your identity to scam your friends. Would you call that bad luck or bad cybersecurity? So with all these scenarios now, you will see that cybersecurity is something that should be taken very, very, very serious because it's all about protecting. It's all about protecting you in the world. It's all about protecting your digital in the online space. It's all about protecting what you say, your sensitive data, your company data, your intellectual property out there. That is what cybersecurity is all about. It's all about protecting all these things, even your privacy, self, your data privacy, and all those stuff. It's all about protecting all these things. So if our entire lives now live on our phones, then protecting them isn't optional anymore. It's something that is essential. You see how much cybersecurity is very, very vital and crucial. So can you move to the next slide, please? So what we're going to learn here are what cybersecurity is all about, understanding why it matters, and the CIA triad, which is like the basic of what cybersecurity is. And we are going to identify and know about common threats. And we're also going to understand digital threats as well as key cybersecurity terms. Next slide, please. So on this slide, we have what is cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is the practice of protecting computers, networks, devices, applications, and data from cyber attacks and unauthorized access. So cybersecurity is big on protection, is big on safety, is big on privacy. So it's not just your computers and your systems. What you say out there, your information that are being handled by the banks, your information that you post there on the internet, like how safe it is. Cybersecurity is very, very keen on protecting all these things, even your devices, even your applications, everything that has to be very sensitive, that can be traced back to you, that can be linked back to you. Cybersecurity is very, very big on protecting it from unauthorized access, from people that are not meant to like see those information, people that are not meant to access those information, that are not meant to process those information. Cybersecurity is very, very keen on protecting these kinds of data. And cybersecurity achieve this protection with controls like encryption, MFA, antiviruses, firewalls, and digital signature. So this encryption happens like when when something is being transformed from a human readable language to like a non-readable language. So in cybersecurity, that's what we call ciphertext and plain text. Encryption is taking something that is meant to be in plain text and converting it to like what? To a cipher text. So with this thing now, even when your information is being transformed from one place to another over the internet, it cannot be read. It cannot be read by any other person, by threat actors. Even if they kind of take it, they intercept the data. It's unreadable. It's unreadable to them because they cannot read something that has been scrambled, something that has been coded. So that is one of the ways cybersecurity tries to protect your data online. Most of the things that you do online, you think that you send messages to people. You send a message from your WhatsApp to your friend, and then your friend gets the WhatsApp and gets the message. Encryption took place there. And if you go to your WhatsApp, if you observe and there's something you would see, like end-to-end encryption is supported, something like that. So all these things are telling you that there is something that goes on behind the scenes that are trying to keep your information safe, They're trying to keep your information both at rest and in transit very, very safe so that threat actors, even if they eventually succeed in getting that hold of their data, is meaningless to them because they can't decode that information. They can't easily decode it. Though there are sometimes they can decode, but then they can't easily decode it. You have to like make it very, very much stressful or almost impossible for them to like decode that information. So the other one we have is MFA. MFA is like is multi-factor authentication. It's like an additional layer of protection to you. So in a world where we have like an app, maybe like say like a Google app or any other app, even your phone self, you key in your password, you key in your username to be able to like log in or authenticate into an account. It's not enough because all these things, if your password or your username gets breached, threat actors can actually use those credentials, like log into that your account and then log you out and then take over those accounts. But then once this MFA is being activated or enabled, it will make it impossible for them to like take over your account because what? Maybe if you use let me say if you use one of your biometrics, that is your face, as an additional layer or of protection, or if you enable it and then they get to like send you an OTP, they get to send the OTP to you, not to that attacker that has already compromised your credentials. Yes, they have your credentials, they have your password, they have your username, but without that second layer, without this immediately now, this second layer of protection, it becomes almost impossible or useless for them to like enter or take over your account. Because there's no how your attacker and you guys look like have the same face and all these things. If your MFA is like your face or like your fingerprint, then you're somewhat safe. To a very great extent, you are safe because your attacker cannot have the same biometrics as you have. So the other one is like your antiviruses. Your antiviruses like let me say like your virus total and all these things, these are the things that like make you know if your system or your network has been compromised or not. They keep like a tag, they keep like note of all the things that have been compromised, and if it is being detected in your system or in your network, it will flag it as malicious and then let you know that this thing is actually has been compromised. And then you yourself, you now kind of initiate maybe like a scan to be able to identify what it is exactly that has been flagged as malicious. And then the other one is like a firewall. A firewall is a device that protects and filters access, inbound and outbound traffic. So let's say now you have like someone is trying to communicate with your server, or someone is trying to communicate with your internal server. If you have a firewall does not allow the person's traffic to like go straight into your company's network. No, it will serve as a bridge, like it will stand as a gap between the incoming and the outgoing traffic. So if it's coming, if based on the rules that have been configured on the firewall, if it checks and then sees that, oh, this person is not allowed to access this particular server, it will block that traffic. It will not let it get to that destination, because once if the traffic or the person that is trying to connect to your internal server is malicious, is a threat actor, then if the traffic gets through the firewall, then that means the account or the system has been compromised. It will be compromised because threat actors, they don't usually have like a good intention for us. So that is why like firewall is a device that is very, very, very vital and very, very important, because it filters traffic, the inbound and the outbound traffic, based on the rules that have been pre-configured. And they also have like digital signature. Digital signature is also part of what makes cybersecurity what it is. Digital signature, like hashing. Examples of this digital signature, we have like hashing. Hashing makes it very, very easy to help us. It makes it easier for us like identify what is real and what is not real. So let's say we have like an application, a legitimate application now. So every application have like their hash values. And hashing works in such a way that no particular thing have the same hash value. No particular thing have the same hash value. Let me say I have something like I have something like a boy. You have like a letter BOY, boy, and then another person has like BOY, then period. That's period, comma, or any of these things. And then if you compare if you compare the hash value for these both things now, all of them, like, they are not the same. These two things are very, very, very different. So these are the things that makes it easier for security people or defenders like us to identify what is malicious and what is not malicious, what is real and what is not real. So with this hashing now, it makes it almost it helps us like identify what is real and what is not real. Can you go to the next slide, please? So why does cybersecurity matters? So of course, there are a couple of things why cybersecurity is very, very important in our, not only in our country, like in this world. First is financial protection. So if you come to Nigeria now, you'll be wondering why fintechs or why banks or anything that has to do with money like take cybersecurity very serious. That's because like there are consequences to not taking cybersecurity serious, especially those in the fintechs. Apart from the damage you're going to suffer, apart from the breach you're going to suffer, apart from the reputational damage is going to cost you, there are some regulatory fines that are going to companies, not even companies, like some standards or frameworks, like I think like NDPA or something, are going to like make you pay. All these things are to like help you remain consistent and this thing disciplined. But then in such a situation whereby you don't like take your cybersecurity serious as a financial organization, it's going to cost you money. Not only the money you lose due to fraud, the regulatory fines are there. If you go to the US, they pay as much as 24 million dollars, even more than that, just to secure, it's just like a penalty for not taking cybersecurity serious in their space. No, I'm not done with that one. Yeah, this financial protection. So it makes it very, very important for financial organizations to take their cybersecurity very, very serious. So the second one is identity protection. I'm very sure that you don't want a situation whereby someone will kind of compromise your credentials and then use your credentials to like scam people. In Nigeria, this is the commonest cybersecurity attack that we face. People trying to scam you of your hard-earned money, people trying to compromise your account and they use your details. Maybe they try to approach some people or your loved ones and they try to like make you pay this thing, make you pay this thing, make you pay a lot for trying to scam your loved ones. Let me put it like that. So identity protection is also what cybersecurity is fighting to maintain for us. So the other one is business continuity. Business continuity. So that's what we call disaster recovery plans. So whether we like it or not, whether there is a breach or not, like every company, they want to like run, they want to make profit, they want to always continue to remain operational. So one of the things that makes them one of the things that make it possible for them to achieve this aim is cybersecurity. If things are in place, if there is a layered defense in depth protection, if there is security controls that are being put in place, then businesses can operate, they can remain operational. Even when there is like let me say an attack or a breach, they will have like a backup something so that they can't like be taken out of operation entirely. So this is what cybersecurity helps us to like achieve. So the other one is privacy and trust. We don't want unauthorized people to have access to something that is supposed to be this thing, something that's supposed to be personal to us, that is supposed to be private to us. Both our pictures, anything that we do there, our written works, anything, our intellectual property, our trademarks, anything that has to do with us. We don't have people that are not authorized to have to get hold of it. Cybersecurity is there to like help us to make sure that all these things are very private and they are not being accessed by unauthorized people, or people that are not authorized doesn't get hold of all this information. So cybersecurity protects people before it protects computer. Are you? Yeah, okay. So a day without cybersecurity, if just imagine a day there's no cybersecurity, or more. Maybe if you're opening your mobile bank account, bank apps, you would see like a lot of debit alerts that have been like happening there. Because of what? Because a breach has happened. Someone is trying to like take money out of your account. Someone is trying to post or trying to scam your loved ones, trying to pose as you and scam your loved ones. Someone is trying to like log into your account. Someone is trying to have access to something that is supposed to be private to you. Someone is trying to gain Someone is trying to like gain access to something that is not supposed to like something that is so personal to you. So a day without cybersecurity is going to be total chaos. It's going to be very, very, very chaotic, because there's going to be like destruction. There's going to be like so disorganization in everything that we do. And then cybersecurity protects our everyday life. That is why we have to like take cybersecurity very, very seriously. Can you go to the next slide, please? So this is the core of cybersecurity, which is like the CIA triad. CIA triad, the C there stands for confidentiality, the integrity, the I stands for integrity, and then the A stands for availability. So this is the foundation of information security. So confidentiality, what is it saying? Confidentiality is saying that information should just remain with just the people that are being authorized to access, that it should be confidential. Unauthorized people, people that don't have access to this information or to this system or to this network, they should not have access to that. So this confidentiality tries to protect our information from unauthorized access. And then integrity. Integrity tries to ensure that data remains accurate or unaltered. So you don't want to have like a situation whereby you want to withdraw 5,000 naira from your account, and then you already keyed in 5,000 naira, and then what is being processed is 50,000 naira. You want to make sure that whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that is being transacted remains the same. Nothing should just like go wrong or go odd. So it ensures that data remains accurate and unaltered. So the other one is availability. Availability tries to like keep systems and information accessible when needed. So this is when information and systems are being made accessible when needed. So businesses don't want a situation whereby their workers are being stranded just because they can't be able to like make use of their systems or network because let's say a breach has happened. No, the main aim of every business is to make money, is to remain operational, is to like I would want a situation whereby if I want to have access to this file, if I want to have access to a particular information, I should be able to have the particular information, especially when it's going to help me do my job very well. I should be able to have that access. But then there are some cybersecurity attacks that makes it impossible for availability of information not to take place, not to happen, which is what is going to be. We are going to explore it, but then I would mention it, which is DDoS attack, distributed denial of service. This attack is trying to like it's trying to like overwhelm your network so that it makes it inaccessible to the people that are supposed to legitimate users. So the CIA triad is the core framework that guides information security strategy. Next slide. Okay, so we are going to explore it in depth here. We have confidentiality. Confidentiality is one of the models of cybersecurity that says that only authorized people should have access to information, have access to sensitive information, to systems, to data, to anything that has to be like very, very personal. So it stresses the part that only authorized people should have access to that. So examples, they have hospital records, bank details, student records. I'm very sure you don't want to like randomly give out your BVN numbers. You don't want to give out your NIN number, your NIN numbers, your account numbers. Like you don't want to give it out like that, because when it gets into the wrong hand, or more, is really going to be very bad for that target, very bad for that person. Because what they're going to use it to do, they might even use your BVN or your NIN to apply for loan that you not even apply. You would not be saying that you are owing people like a huge sum of money. So that is why this confidentiality is very important to us. It's very important that we take it very seriously. So we have some security controls that makes it possible for us to like achieve confidentiality, which is encryption. Just like I said before, it's trying to like make information, sensitive information, very, very private. How do you make it private? That information that you're seeing in plain text, it converts from that plain text to ciphertext. This ciphertext is going to be like a scrambled like letters, string of alphabets, letters, mix of anything. So it makes it nearly impossible for threat actors, for anybody or anybody that even tries to like do man in the middle attack to be able to read that message. So you see why encryption makes it very confidential. It makes our documents, it makes our sensitive information, it makes our data very, very confidential. So we have also access controls. So sometimes in some organizations, there are some, this has to do with labeling, that not only labeling, sure, but then there are some organizations that even use labeling in their documents. They'll be like, this document is confidential, not for external use, things like that. So they will add labels to all these documents. So if an external person tries to like access it, it's not going to be like made available to that particular person. If you're outside the organization, you're not meant to read, you're not meant to access that document. So we also have access controls like physical access controls too. Even let me say, yeah, people at the gate too. They are also part of the this thing, the access controls, because they are not meant. If you're not meant to be in a building, if you're not meant to enter a place you're not supposed to enter, the CCTV camera, the let me say, the people at the gate, they are there to physically restrain you from trying to like enter places you're not supposed to enter. Though there are some places, people, unauthorized people like try to have unauthorized access to places they are not supposed to be. But then all these access controls, we also have this thing, physical control falls under this too, and then the labeling system too. Another one we have here, another security control we have here is the MFA. So this MFA now is like, just like I said before, is like you adding an additional layer of security, of protection to what you already have. Yes, you already have your username and your password, but then it's not enough. It's not enough because of what? These things, they can be leaked. They can be involved in like a data breach. Let me like, I have like a situation one certain time. I used to read on Wattpad. Yes, I have an account with Wattpad, but then there was a time, I think it's 2023, it got involved in like a data breach. And guess what? Our password, our usernames, they are out there. They've been compromised. But then guess what? What happens when you don't have like an MFA, an additional layer of protection? That means someone will just log in into your account and log you out. That's what happens when security, like, you don't have MFA. enabled, someone can easily try to manipulate and take total control of what belongs to you, and then you just be left stranded. That's why people will be complaining about Facebook accounts, Facebook attacks, and all these things. But what when they have like MFA, it's going to demand like a biometrics or like an OTP that is going to be sent to your phone. If the attacker does not have that second or additional detail, it's going to make it almost impossible for the person to like log into your account. So that is why we cannot like really overlook the importance of MFA in security. It's something that we need to like we need to practice, not only for businesses, for ourselves, for our accounts, for our safety. Next slide, please. So the next one is integrity. Integrity has to do with information and data should remain unaltered. Yes. If I'm communicating with my friend, if I'm chatting with my friend, I don't want to like send her send her I don't want to send her a message and she gets like a different message altogether. That means that the message I sent her has been manipulated. It has been manipulated by somebody. I don't want a situation like that. And I'm very sure that you and organizations too don't want a situation like that, because it's going to cost them. We as individuals might not really suffer it like that, but then I know nobody wants it. But in organizations, when something has been manipulated or tampered or altered, it's going to cost them, especially when it has to do with financial records and transactions. If something has been manipulated or corrupted, then it's going to like there's going to be like consequences for that. So examples, we have like bank balance, we have exam results, we have payroll records. And then we also have security controls that are put in place to help us maintain integrity. We have digital signature, we have hashing, and then we have like a version control. So this digital signature now has to do with like let me say I don't know if you've come across what in cybersecurity what we call non-repudiation. Non-repudiation makes it almost impossible for you to like send message and then come to claim that it's not you that sent this message. Like it's salvation. Oh, okay. So it makes you accountable to what you've already sent. It's like a digital. It's like you signing a digital signature, just like name suggests. You trying to like put or append a digital signature on what you've already said. So if you've already said this thing, there's no how you can come back to claim that it's not you that sent this thing. That is what digital signature means. We also have like hashing. Hashing is what makes it, yeah, just like I explained before. Hashing is like a way of trying to like maintain integrity in our transaction, in our environment, in our listening, in our communication, in everything that we do. And just like I said before, there are no two things that have the same hash values. Like there are no two things that have the same hash values, which is one of the things that even makes it very, very beautiful for this security part. Imagine a situation whereby you have like let me say, you know, all these threat actors, like they can be so manipulative, like they can come up with different strategies. So one of the strategies they can come up with, they might try to like mimic something that a legitimate app now, maybe your Chrome. They might create an app and then name that app chrome.exe. That is the executable. And then you, if you're not being careful enough, you might think that that is a Chrome you're supposed to download. Sorry. That's the Chrome app you're supposed to download. You might go ahead and download it and then execute it and then try to install it on your laptop. But then in a situation whereby you check the hash values, you're going to see that the official Chrome app, that is the legitimate one, is different from that one that you downloaded. Is different from that one you downloaded. So these hash values, they are always different. They help us like identify what is legitimate and what is not legitimate. And also have version controls. Version controls, I think it has to do with I've seen it a couple of times on AWS, on cloud environments, and then GitHub and all the stuff. So it's like maintaining the different levels of changes that you effected in your environment. Let me say you have something original document, and then you come to edit it. Yes, you are going to have the original document and then the edited version of that original document, so that in case that you notice that something has been wrong or this thing, you can be able to revert back to that old one. So these are all these things, the security controls that helps us to achieve integrity. So the next one we have is availability. So availability is one of the CIA triad model that helps us to make information, that stresses or emphasizes that information should be made accessible when needed. So imagine a situation like a bank or people or fintechs or just people that have to like do with continuous being in the screens and trying to access people to process something for people and all these things. So in a situation whereby they are not able to like carry out or do their job, that is like the availability being taken, availability of document and availability being taken away from them. So, but then when the information is available, they're able to carry out their job, their roles, their duties, they're able to process things. That is one of the things that cybersecurity is trying to like fight for. It tries to like make our information available as at when needed, make data available to people that needs to like that needs that access at the time they need that access. So examples, we have like online banking, hospital systems, and like school portals. So let me use this example now. In cases like hospital systems, whereby someone needs like, I'm not talking about Nigeria because I know Nigerians, we don't have or we don't practice like a digital profiling of patients' data. But then let's say that yeah, let's just say that we have an hospital that have or maintain um a digital version of their patient's information, and then we have the genotype, we have the blood group, we have everything that relates to that patient's health, and then something happens to that patient. If they're not able to access that information at that time, that patient is in danger. That patient is in danger. But then when that information is available, they'll be able to diagnose what is happening. They'll be able to like recommend or know how to like know how to know how to solve the issue, know how to cater well for the patient so that the patient's health can be, restored, something like that. But in a situation whereby all these things are being denied, all these things are not made readily available, then there is going to be an issue. It might not really be good for both the patient and the hospital too. So we have security controls that makes it possible for us to have access or to maintain availability of information. We have backups, we have redundancy, we have system updates, and then we have disaster recovery. So backups, like let's say there is one of the cyber attack that we have is ransomware attack. So ransomware attack is when like a threat actor is tries to not even tries takes your data from your system, have access to your data in your system, and then locks it up, and then demands a ransom in exchange for like a decryption key. So what this means is that ransomware attacks happens when threat attackers have access to what they are not supposed to have access to it. They lock that information that they've already have access to, and then for you to get that information back, you have to pay. And in some situations, they actually pay because they actually need that information. Companies, they actually pay because they need that information. But then let's say they don't have a backup now. That is one of the situations where they have to pay. Because if they don't pay, they would that information, that stolen information now, the threat actors, they don't even mind. They might even post it on the dark web. They might do any other thing they want to do with it. They might even sell it on the dark web, something like that. But then let's say we have a backup now. If you have a backup, it will be easier for you to negotiate. Like it will be easier for you. You might not even really negotiate. You might even leave that thing with themselves and then even like get those information that have been stolen, those information that have been stolen by the ransomware attackers now. You can get it back through the backups that you already made. So that is why is advised that we maintain or have like different backup so that in case something happens, we can have like a backup where we can get those information that have been stolen. You don't have to like pay all those hefty sum of money just to like get those information back. Because what are the odds that the ransomware attackers will even release the information to you? People that are trying to steal your data. So all these things like they are risky, but then backup makes it easier for us to makes it easier for us to decide we don't want to pay these people. We don't want to negotiate. Let's just get this thing. Let's just get information from our backup. So and you may there yes. So there was a time I asked one of my instructors like the kind of backups we should have. So the person advised we should go for like an online, not online, a physical backup. Some a backup that is kind of different from the place you had that your data stolen from. So once it's in a different location, it's in a different place entirely. It's very easier for you to like get your backup. And then the other one is your system update. How regularly do you update your systems, even your phone itself? How regularly do you update it? Because sometimes I've noticed it in mine. Sometimes when you don't really update or when your this thing is or your update has been long overdue, your data gets let me say deleted. Some of your data gets deleted. You notice that some of your pictures, your WhatsApp, your all these things that they get deleted. So updates are very necessary. They're very crucial when it comes to like security. Another thing we have is another one we have is disaster recovery. So we have disaster recovery plans. So in cases whereby companies experience an attack, like how quickly are they to bounce back to operation and not really crash just because they experienced an attack. So we also have like redundancy. Redundancy is like having multiple layers of protection, multiple layers of security, so that if anything should happen, like if our server is down, there should be like a second server, a backup server that is going to support our users or our customers. So just because a particular server is down does not mean that business should shut down. So redundancy makes it able, that we also call it like defense in depth. Defense in depth means that there are different security controls that are being put in place in different places and different levels of cyber security, so that once this one fails, the other security this thing can step in and hold security. If this one fails, that other one, the third one can step in to hold security too. So just because we have one that is down does not mean that security should suffer. So the next one we have is the opposite of CIA triad. So CIA triad actually have like an opposite, which stands for disclosure, alteration, and denial. So disclosure speaks against confidentiality, because once the information has been made accessible, has been disclosed, once unauthorized users can have access to your private or sensitive information, that means it has been disclosed now. It has been leaked. So it's the opposite of confidentiality. So the other one we have is alteration. Alteration speaks against integrity. Once your information has been manipulated, has been modified, has been edited by anything, that means it has been altered. Example, when your transaction amounts change without authorization, that means you process a payment, or maybe you already have like let me say I have like 5,000 naira in my account, and then I'm comfortably sleeping, only to wake up to seeing just 1 5 in my account. Who ordered that thing? Who modified that thing? Who changed that thing? So that's what alteration speaks about. Then denial speaks about systems becoming unavailable. So yes, just like what availability is trying to say, that our information should be accessible when needed. Denial is saying that information should be unavailable to authorized users. Okay. So the next one is, can you move to the next slide, please? So what does digital mean? Cybersecurity, to a great extent, has to do with things that are being digital, things that are digital. So that is that requires us to know what the word digital means. Digital means anything that exists, is stored, processed, or accessed electronically. Once it's not online, cybersecurity cannot really let me say cannot really cover for that. But the once it's digital, that's what cybersecurity tries to protect, because I came across a code that has to be, so far as that you're online, so far as you're something, one of your details can be traced to you online, or more, you can be hacked. You can be hacked. There's nothing that cannot be done. Once some of your details, some of your sensitive details are out there online, cybersecurity can be compromised. So the word digital means an information or a detail, information or data that can be accessed, that exists or stored electronically. So we have your emails, you have your apps, we have your banking apps, your PDFs, your photos, and your cloud storage, your music, those information that you have on your cloud, your Google Docs and all those stuff, your banking apps too. You operate them electronically. You also have your apps that you interface with. We also have like your emails that you communicate with, your PDFs, your music, your Spotify, and all those stuff. All these apps, once they have like a vulnerability that have not really been mitigated, or that have not been attended to, they can lead to a breach. They can lead to a breach. And when I said attended to, not just the security researchers, you self, when you have like an updated version of the app you're using. If you're using the old version, you know, the reason why they have like an update is because they saw something in the old one. They saw a vulnerability, they saw a flaw in the old one, and that new version of that app that came out, they've already fixed the flaw. That is the reason why you have to like update your stuff, especially when the updates are available. You have to update them so that you don't become a prey, or when someone tries to like tries to like exploit the vulnerabilities in the old app, you might get affected, especially when you have not updated to the newer version of that app. So that is why we have been advised to always check for new updates, and try to see that our things are up to date. Next slide, please. So in cybersecurity, you have to know the differences between, you have to know what a data is, what information is, and digital assets are. So a data is like a raw form of, let me say, an organized part or figures, a raw form of information that has not been processed. So we have your names, your account balance, your phone number, your name, your this thing. You have your BVN. Then information is something a data that has been processed and given meaning. Let's say that you have your customer profile now. We have your phone number there. We have your address there. You have your BVN, your name. You have everything that can be linked to you there. That is like a complete information because it can be tied back to you. It can be linked to you. But then all those things that make up information are data. So digital assets are valuable information that can be stored electronically. We have like a company database containing company valuable customer reports and even details self. So data and information make up digital assets because your BVN, your name, all these personal details, all the sensitive details, they are valuable, especially when they fall in the they are valuable because when they fall in the wrong hands, you will see how valuable they can. You see all this information that you take so lightly. You see how much they will sell it for. You see what they can use it for. You will see how they will compromise it. You will see how they will scam people using your details, pretending to be you. So data and information make up what we call digital assets. Next slide, please. So examples of all these digital assets, you have like your computers, your database, your documents, your websites, your cloud storage, your digital identity, your emails, and your cryptocurrencies. All these things are very, very valuable to us. They are very, very valuable information. And once they are valuable, they are your digital assets. Next slide, please. So we have your digital footprint. I don't need to like stress much on this because you already know what it is. People always tell you that you should be careful, you should be mindful of what you post online because everything you do online leaves a trace. It can be traced back to you. Everything you do online. Like once the person mean you, once a particular, let me say a threat actor means you, like the person will dig and dig and dig until he finds something that can be traced to you. And then if you're not careful with the kind of things that you post there, that means the person has already have like something, a valuable information that can be used to pull you down. And all this information now they can be accessed from your Google searches, your Facebook posts, your emails, your location data, your online shopping, your photos, everything. So all these things now they make up your part of your digital footprint. Whatever you interact, whatever you put out there, the internet never forgets. That's what they will tell you. The internet never forgets. So you should be careful with the kind of things that you put out there and how much you give access to people to read all those stuff, your data, your sensitive information online. So the next slide we have is who are the threat actors? Who are the threat actors? So we've been talking about threat actors for a while now. So who are these people now? And what is their motivation? What's their goal for trying to do all these things? So the first one we have is like career cyber criminals. Here we have like the black hats hackers. All these people, their main gain is what? Their main gain is to get money, is to make money out of everything they do, out of the vulnerability, out of the this thing, any breach, any compromises they make against an individual or a company. The main motivation there is to make money. Then we have attacks like ransomware, whereby threat actors they would steal data, sensitive data from companies. They will encrypt the data, and in order for the companies, if the company doesn't have backup, in order for the companies to get those data back, they will have to pay a ransom. Now the money we are talking here is not even something that is small or something that is very huge. But they don't have option because if they want to remain operational, if they want to keep moving, if they want to keep working, they will have to pay that money so they can be able to get their data back. But then I will always ask this question: it's not about paying that money though. How sure are you those people are going to release those data to you? That is why having backups like is non-negotiable in this scenario. Because if you don't have backup, that's when you'll be forced to make commitment. That's when you'll be forced to make payments for all these things. Something that you're not even sure they will give you. Okay, even if they give it to you, what are the odds that it has not been manipulated? What are the odds that they have not sold it to people in the dark web? So all these things, like if you don't want to have this kind of, if you don't want to experience this kind of 50-50 chances or more, have a backup. Have a backup, something you can fall back to in case situations like this happen. So the next one is like the nation state sponsored attackers. So all these people, no, the nation state sponsored attackers, these kind of people or this type of threat actors are the ones that are being sponsored by the state, by the nation. Let's say now, a typical example is the US and the Iran now that are fighting. So there was a this thing there was a bomb. I think it was a bomb. No, it was not really a bomb, like it, but then it's something that was destructive, something that was very, very destructive that they created. It was called Stotnet. So they created that thing and they were able to like target it, and then that chip, I don't know if it's a chip, but then it's something that was destructive. That thing found its way into the Iranian computers, and it was able to like destroy, like it was able to like cause major damages. It damaged the Iranian nuclear program. You can go and read about it. It's called the Stotnet attack. So all these things, they were being sponsored by the US, that is United States government, against the Iran. And you know, when the government is involved, like the kind of thing, the kind of investment they made in this kind of attack is very, very heavy. And the kind of consequences, the kind of effects that comes from this thing is very, very heavy as well. So the other one is called the hacktivist. The hacktivist is a kind of threat actors, are a kind of threat actor group that carry out attacks just to prove or to make a statement. So this kind of people, most times their gain, their aim is not really to make money. It's just like make a statement, especially when it involves like a political cause. So they are trying to embarrass the government. It's either they're trying to embarrass the government or they are trying to it's either they're trying to embarrass a government or they're trying to intimidate a government. Like all these things that will just make them see make people think more they really I don't think I should call this thing, but then I think one of the most likely case that is similar to this in Nigeria is when they changed the EFCC logo to chicken. I don't know if you remember those the times this thing happened. I don't know if it was this year or last year, but then there was a time they changed the EFCC logo from what it used to be to like a chicken head. That is a way of them mocking the EFCC. So that is a way of people trying to mock the AFCC, maybe of their loopholes or how they try to operate, something like that. So these are something that we can link to activists. So one of the examples I'm going to talk about here is the Operation Payback that was carried out by a group named Anonymous in 2010. So this group now that is called Anonymous, they launched a DDoS attack, a distributed denial of service attack on corporations on financial institutions like PayPal and Visa and MasterCard. So their aim is not really to like get money out of that thing, but then to prove a statement, to make a statement. So another kind of threat actor we're going to talk about here is insider threat. Insider threat, for instance, now are like people within our organization that volunteer, like let me say, what do they call it? That knowingly or unknowingly become a threat to us. What does it mean? So these people, let me give an example. Let me say in a particular company and they are not treating me well and they eventually fired me. So me, instead of me going like that, I might try to like steal some sensitive details about them. Maybe something that has to or can be linked to their intellectual property or competitive advantage. I can say that and I'm gonna sell it to their opponents, to their this thing, competition. So I'm an insider threat because I have those access. I have access to all this sensitive information. And what did I choose to do that? What did I choose to do? I abused that access. So that one is like a knowingly yes, me knowingly abusing my rights. But then there is also me being an insider threat, and I didn't really did what I did because I really want to do that. It was an unknowingly kind of action. I didn't have it in mind. Maybe I was working on my computer, like maybe it's in a cyber cafe, and then somebody tries like I don't know if you know what is called shoulder surfing, tries like see through by this thing, and then saw I was working on something sensitive. Maybe I tried to like grab something, or I just left the computer on like that, try to go and buy something, go get a coffee or something like that, and somebody that knows what I'm working on just grab something from that. That is an example of the person the person didn't like know he or she was going to be used as like a threat, was going to be used as a threat to the organization. It was not a knowingly action, it was unknowingly. I didn't plan it. But then someone else that knows what really to do with the data was able to like get hold of the data and then carried out an attack. So that's an example of an unknowingly form of insider threat. So insider threat can be knowingly or unknowingly. So we also have like script kiddies. So the motivation of this kind of threat actors is really curiosity. People will just like hop on their laptop and then try to use code, um, cloud, try to do something crazy with their computers, and that thing is malicious. That thing is something that can be able. They don't even know it's going to like have a huge effect on the network or the system or the company. They are just like trying to explore. Maybe they are curious, they're trying to just explore things, and then that thing now snowball and then caused a major damage to people or to companies or organization. So script kiddies are mostly driven by curiosity. Yeah, someone can also hop on their laptop and use cloud to maybe they might prompt it in such a way that they will ask you to like maybe found vulnerabilities in this thing, vulnerabilities in this app, vulnerabilities in this website, and this thing, and then try different ways or tactics to be able to like hack those websites. So they might not really know the impact of what they are doing, but they are just exploring. Can you move to the next slide, please? But then before I continue, does anybody have a question? So far, does anybody have a question? Oh, okay, Salvation.
Um, I'm sorry for disturbing, but I want to ask this about insider threats.
Okay.
What about a way if I'm a attacker and a defender,
Mm-hmm.
and I send in a phishing email into a insider email spam, and without the person knowing, just click on it, feeling like this from his boss or from the executive of the company. Does it also make it an insider threat?
So if I understand it correctly, somebody gets a phishing. No, it's not.
Uh, like I created a phishing link and sent it
Mm-hmm.
to a insider email address.
Okay.
Yeah, and you click on this link now. Like you click on the link without knowing what was my intent. Like I want to get access to the PC. Like I installed a malware inside this link, and you click on this link now. Why on the office PC? Does it make it an insider threat or you just an outsider threat? I don't understand, Sha.
That one is an example of phishing. It's completely different. It's phishing. It's a phishing attack.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Does anybody have any other question? Okay, so we're going to move on. The next one we have is threat versus vulnerability versus risk. So threat is like the person that is carrying out the action, the malicious action that is going to cause major damages to both the companies, to organizations, to or even the individual. It's the person that is carrying out the action. So the vulnerability is like an opportunity. It's like an opportunity, a backdoor for the person to like carry out those actions. The other one is the risk. The risk is like the valuables that get impacted, that gets affected by the threat. So let me give an example now. Let's say we have like an app. Let me say we have like an app now. Oh, should I use that app? Okay, so let's say we have like, let me use phishing. You have like a phishing email, a phishing instance now. So a threat actor is the person that sends the malicious link. Is the outsider that sends the malicious link. The vulnerability, that is the unlocked door, is the person that clicks that link. The person that is not really security aware that clicks that link. Maybe the person wants to, maybe is something that has to do with like salary increase, something that has to do with something, maybe the boss is trying to, maybe the threat actor mimicked the boss and try to, tell the subordinates to carry out this action for him. When it comes to some actions, when it comes to some attacks, you just need to click a link. Just a particular link, the act of you clicking that link can cause a major damage. Like in this phishing link now, if you just click that link, sometimes what it activates behind the scenes can cost the company like millions. So this vulnerability now is the person that is not really cyber aware, that is not really security aware, that clicks on the link, and then the risk is the effect. That is what happens when the person clicks the link. Yes, what happens when the person clicks the link, the valuables that have been stolen, the how it impacts the this thing, the company. So if there is no vulnerability, then threat cannot succeed. So that's why attackers are always trying to look for a vulnerability, be it in apps, in humans. But then, as they always say, that humans are the weakest link because we are the easiest to trust. Whatever we do, we have to do like emotions and all this stuff. So it's easier to lure us to click on all these things. Let me say, if I don't have money, and then you're coming with one good offer, I will try to like maybe check it out now to see if it's update. To see if it's update now. So humans are the weakest link when it comes to like cybersecurity or threat. But then technology, you can't really break it like that. It's breakable. But then humans too are the people that make it are always the people that make it very, very breakable. Because once humans interact with the malicious link or what has been sent, it makes it easier for the threat actors to interact with those technology that has been sitting that technology systems that have been put in place. Next slide, please. So we have like the common cybersecurity terms. So we have like threat. Threat is like the person that is carrying out the action. That is the intruder, the threat actor that is responsible for carrying out the action. And then you have the vulnerability. Vulnerability is like the weakness that is exploited by the threat actor. So it can be the no security awareness of human or of phishing. It could be this thing apps, outdated apps. It could be anything, just anything. Anything that will just enable the threat actor have access. So risk. So the other one we have is this thing risk. Risk has to do with like the impact, the effect, the valuables that have been stolen. How it impacts the organization. What value does it have? So we also have like a malware. Malware has to do with malicious softwares that are used to carry out that are used to um carry out attacks, be it systems or even human self. So malware are malicious softwares that enables attackers carry out attacks on both the systems, the networks, the even humans self that are being involved. We also have like phishing. Phishing is a way cyber attackers try to like lure people to give out their sensitive information. Because ordinarily, if you come to me to ask, if a stranger comes to me and then asks me for like my VVN, I will not give. I will not give. But then, what if a person like pretends to be like the HR and then sends you an email saying that they need your BVN so that they can be able to, set up your profile in the company. You can become a full-fledged member of the company. For them to like, set up a profile for you, they need some certain details. They need the BVN and all those stuff. You might give now. It's not HR. It's not coming from the HR. And if you check the logo, it might be from that company that you're working with. If you check the email address, it might really look like the person that like the HR. There is going to be like a slight difference, but then how cyber aware, how security aware are you to like check or to find out all those differences that makes it phishing? So the next one is like a firewall. A firewall, like we discussed before, is like a device that tries to filter incoming and outgoing traffic. So it says based on predefined policies or rules. So it could be IP address. Maybe this IP address has been identified to maybe have connection to like a C2 server or have been involved in a breach before, or a particular hash value has been involved in a breach before. So no. A particular hash value has been involved in a breach before. So you might take that hash value, that malicious hash value now, go to the firewall and then set a rule for it in such a way that if it ever detects this hash value in an environment, or if this hash value, if something that has this hash value is trying to communicate with our server, with our database, with our endpoint, you should block it. Don't let that communication slip through or go through. So what firewall is doing, it has like a record of what is supposed to block and to allow. So if there is an external communication now trying to maybe access our internal communication, it's going to check based on the record, based on the rules that have been defined. Is it allowed? If it's not allowed, it will just drop the connection, the traffic. It's not let it pass through. But then if it's allowed, it will just allow it. So that's what firewall is. Authentication is still trying to like verify. So you said I am Chinyere Ucha. Okay, what are the things that makes you who you are? Your fingerprints, your biometrics, the OTP that's been sent to your phone, your usernames and password. All these things are a way of trying to authenticate you into something that you claim that you have access to. So we also have like an MFA. MFA is also part of authentication. Then we have like it has like a multiple, it's like multiple layer of protection. It gives a multiple layer protection to both the individuals. So encryption too, encryption, like you said before, is the act of you converting what is in plain text into cyber text. It's like you trying to encode something so that it becomes useless, so that it becomes not meaningful to people that are not supposed to like have access to it. So we have information that has been traveled, that has been sent from this particular place to this from part A to part B. For this information to reach this part B, without somebody at the middle trying to intercept, without somebody at the middle trying to change or make changes, trying to alter those documents, it has to be encrypted. So that even if the person at the middle eventually succeeds in um, taking or getting access to that information, it becomes useless to the person because of what? The person does not have like an encryption version and a decrypted version of that message that has been encrypted. The person cannot be able to read it because it's not in a version the person can read it. It's only when it gets to the authorized place, to the authorized person that is meant to get it, that's when it gets decrypted. And then the last one we have is incident. Incident are like events, most especially as we associate them with incident with maybe like a major cause or situation that needs to be like attended to urgently, especially when it relates to cyber attacks and other stuff. This next slide, please. Okay. So now we are going to identify the cyber risks in this scenario. So you just like have to raise your hands. Whichever one that you pick or you want to answer for, maybe you can just like drop one or two remarks why you think is a cybersecurity risk. So we have which of these are cyber risks? We have using the same password, public Wi-Fi, ignoring updates, clicking on no links, using MFA, downloading cracked software. Abayomi, you can go ahead. Just answer one and just tell us why you think is that.
Uh,
Hello? Abayomi, you can't hear you. Abayomi, are you there? Maybe you can fix your this thing. When you're back, you can answer. Um somebody else raised hand. Let me see. Salvation, you can go ahead.
Let me go with the first one using the same password. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
I can hear you.
Okay. If an attacker have gotten access of one of your accounts, maybe with your password now, you can try with easy access to access other of your accounts on the internet.
Yeah, that's very correct. That's very correct. If your credentials are being involved, has been leaked before, if it has been leaked before, that threat actor, like, is and that credentials now, you already used it, both the same username and the password, you already use it to sign in for different accounts. It's easier for the threat actor to like get hold of all those accounts you use that same credentials for, especially when you don't have MFA, like a second layer of protection to add to the first layer. So when you reuse the same password, the same username, it makes it easier for a cybersecurity to move from this particular place now that has been attacked, that has been leaked, that has been to use the same credentials that has been leaked throughout the other accounts that you have. So let me see. Next person is Emmanuel. Can you go ahead? Emmanuel.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I would pick downloading cracked software. Because with a cracked software, it does not have the same protection that the original or the software that is to be downloaded from the original makers of the software has. A cracked software is far more vulnerable and easier to be attacked and manipulated by an attacker.
Yeah, you are very correct. You are very correct. It doesn't have the same protection. The same protection has been given the original version. It does not have. Cracked softwares don't have the same protection as the original version. So that makes it very, very risky. So let me see the other person. Leo, you can go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, I will go with ignoring updates
Okay.
because when you ignore an update, the reason why the app or company like update the app because they saw some security risks. So
Yeah.
the updated version of the app have patched that vulnerability that they noticed. So if you ignore it and then our attacker try that vulnerability, you will be at risk.
Yes, yes. What you said is very, very correct. It's very, very correct. So I think this is like a cue for you to go and update both your system and your phones that have been begging you to update them for a while now. Go and update them if you haven't. So let me see. Goodness, you can go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I will go with the clicking on no links. You know
Okay.
that the link will take you to a fake log page, you
Mm-hmm.
know, that will steal your password.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah, so let me buttress what she just said. She just said like clicking on no links. So most phishing attacks now just require you to click on something. So let's say that the scenario that phishing attack comes with is you trying to like access something like a website or a login page. When you put in your password, your credentials, and those website is like let me say, and those website now is not really the original website you're supposed to click with. Whatever you type there is visible. Whatever you type there can be captured by the hacker, by the attacker rather. So that makes it a very, very risky. Clicking on unknown links is very, very risky. So I think we have another one here. Abayemi, are you okay now? Can you go? Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, maybe we might not really wait for Abayemi. I think he's having issues with his mic or so. So the next one is like a public Wi-Fi. Connecting to public Wi-Fi is not really safe. It's not really safe. Okay, you might go to like cafes, you might go to banks, you might go to this thing, you might go to airports. I bet can you mute your mic? Okay. So you might go to all these different places now, and they will not tell you free Wi-Fi. Okay, but then if there is a threat out of there, it comes like at a cost, because maybe yeah, true. All these people, all these places, they already have like a public Wi-Fi that can support you, help you browse and all these things. And then there happens to be like a malicious, a threat actor there too. The person can just set up something that is similar to that company's own. Maybe you might see airports, airport Wi-Fi that is named Airport One, and then yes, this is true the airport public Wi-Fi. An attacker might even name it Airport 2. So you might be thinking that it's like a backup Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi for to support their customers or support their users, something like that. So you might, if Airport 1 does not really connect, you might go and try to connect with Airport 2. That is you falling willingly into the attacker's trap. That is you falling. I think we call it rogue hotspot. I think that's what you call it in cybersecurity. So is you trying to? Oh, okay. Someone have a question. Yeah, go ahead,
My
Salvation.
quick can you hear me?
I can hear you.
My questions just fell on what you just said about the Wi-Fi stuff. And what if
Mm.
you're on airport one, and the attacker now is still on this same Wi-Fi, open Wi-Fi? Can't he hijack your Wi-Fi from the main um like the main hotspots, like the airport
It's
hotspot? Can you
possible.
get my point?
Yeah, it's possible too. It's possible. So even if they don't set like a second Wi-Fi, they can try to like hijack people that are being connected to like a public Wi-Fi because there's nothing that is protecting them. They too they can connect to that same public Wi-Fi. But then personal Wi-Fi now it comes with like a password, something that would add like an additional layer of protection. But then all these public Wi-Fi that they're being made free. So if the attacker eventually connects to that public Wi-Fi, there's a possibility that he can hijack traffic from there. Does anybody have any other question?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, I want to ask, what's the difference between an insider threat versus internal threats, like threat actors in the terms of risk?
Well, to my own understanding, the both of them are like the same. But in cybersecurity term, we don't really call them like internal threats. We call them insider threat. Unless you're going to like maybe explain what do you mean by internal threat. Let me see where you're coming from. Goodness.
Threat. I asked what's the difference between an insider threat and external threat. I did not say internal threat.
Oh, okay. You said external threat.
Yes, external threat in the terms of risk.
Just like the name suggests, external threat is coming from outside. It's from coming from outside. And when something is coming from outside, there is already like a security controls or system that have already been put in place so that they can be able to tackle such incident or such communication. But when something is internal, when something is inside, when we have like an insider threat, the person already belongs to the organization. The organization already trusts this person with some particular privilege or with some particular access to some files or some document and all these things. But then the person has chosen to like abuse those privileges. So here, the person is not trying to bypass a security control that's been put in place for outsider. The person is already inside the organization, trying to access something or has already abused something that is not meant for him to like he or she have access to. But then external is something that's coming from the outside. It's a threat that is coming from the outside. And if there are no strong security controls that have been put in place, the threat can maybe permeate inside, can enter inside the organization or the company. Goodness, you understand me now?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you. Salvation, you can go ahead.
Concerning what you say about internal and external threat, I don't know if I can add up something.
You can. Sure.
Okay. Inside that threat now, the person already know his way around the organization. Can you get me?
Okay.
Like he can know where to go and get this information and where to go and do this stuff. But an external threat now, he just come in as a guest. He don't know what he's doing. Like he just without information, he just find his way to get in. But an insider threat already know his way around the organization. So I would say the internal threat is have more risks than the external threats.
Yeah, they have one. Actually, the internal risk, the internal insider threat has more risk because they already have like a trust. Organization already trust them. They have some level of trust from the organization, but then sometimes they've like chosen to abuse those things, or maybe due to their carelessness, their privileges have been abused by another person. Yeah, Daniel, you can go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you?
So now, concerning ignoring updates and
Mm,
preventing cyber risk. Does it mean that
mm.
every update we get, we should update them? Because I receive updates like updating my calculator and also some other application on my device that are not useful. So does it mean apart from software updates, to get to update every other application on our device to prevent risk?
Yeah, yes, yes. It's very important. I don't know if you guys know I don't know if you know any decks. Do you know any decks?
No, no, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I do.
So, oh, okay. So any dex is like something that grants you remote um connection to a system. Maybe I'm trying to, you know, I am an IT now. I'm trying to fix someone's computer. I'm in Lagos, and then that person is in maybe Abuja. So the person cannot bring me his or her laptop, so I can do it physically. So I can use any dex to log into the person's laptop and control the person's laptop from Lagos, that place I am now. So any desk provides us this privilege of remote connection or communication with another system and all those stuff. So imagine when this particular app now has been um, has been exploited. What do you think will happen? It's going to be like disastrous. It's going to be very, very disastrous for the target and the victim, because it will give threat actors like unauthorized access both to the system. They will have like more maximum control, full control, especially when the person itself, the target is not even aware that some such thing is happening. So it's not only system updates, no, even the apps that are in your phone say they need to be updated. Do you understand me now, Daniel?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Yeah, Udochukwu.
You did not call my name. Oh. I've been raising up my hand since, even
Oh,
before
sorry,
Daniel.
sorry. Oh yeah, talk.
Okay, so my question is, what's the difference between IP address and MAC address?
IP address and MAC address.
Yes.
So MAC address is something that is being given by the I think by the person that kind of built that particular hardware, the person that owns the hardware, they assign the MAC address. But then the MAC address are used for like let me say um local interaction, local interaction. But then the IP address comes for when the person is trying when this particular network is trying to connect or communicate with this particular network. So for them to like communicate, they will need something like a logical IP address. They will need something like an address that would enable that communication to take place, which makes the IP address, which is where the IP address comes very handy. It makes communication between a particular network and a particular network possible. But then the MAC address is dominant, is really dominant to the local communication. I don't know if you understand.
So, so you mean, let's say for instance, now I'm connected to a Wi-Fi now. So that
Mm.
particular Wi-Fi, my own Wi-Fi now, is going to give me a static MAC address, like permanent MAC address. But for an IP address, it can be changed, like it can be changeable, like it won't just be a static IP address, right?
No, actually, for IP addresses, we also have dynamic IP addresses and static IP addresses. So the
Okay,
DHCP is the one that gives us like dynamic IP addresses. So that one it can
so
change. Maybe if you don't use it for some particular period of time, they can change it, reassign you a
okay,
new one, give that particular one to another person. But then when
okay,
your IP address is set to static, that means it cannot be changed. It belongs to you.
okay,
It
okay.
belongs to you.
But that MAC address, it doesn't change, right?
No, no, no. The MAC address does not change at all.
Okay,
Yeah.
based on the particular Wi-Fi that I'm connected to.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Udojuku, goodness.
Yeah, I'm here. My question is, How do we tell a difference between an APT group and a regular cyber criminal gang? Like, how can we tell the difference between the two? Because I think that APT group is like a professional or elite hackers. So how can we be able to tell the difference or identify it them?
Okay. Do you know what we call MITRE attack framework?
I don't think. No, I don't. I don't know.
So after this class now, you log in to your browser and browse
Okay.
MITRE attack framework for APT group, maybe APT 20, 28, 33, and stuff like that. You're going to see they have like a particular behaviors. They have like a particular TTPs they use to operate. So when you see those particular behaviors in the environment, you'll be able to say, oh, this is like APT. It behaves like APT 28 or 33, stuff like that. So all these particular criminal groups and all these professional attackers, threat actors, they have like a particular way they operate, which is why we have like the MITRE attack framework. And this MITRE attack framework now is like a documentation of the TTPs, the techniques, the tactics, and the procedures of all this attack that has been of all these threat actor groups. So it will give you both how they enter, like how they have initial access, how they collect your data, how they weaponize. Like it will give you like a bunch of information you are going to use to identify a particular threat group or cyber criminal group. Do you understand me? So maybe after the class, you can go and browse MITRE attack framework, read about the APT 28 or any other cyber criminal group you want to know about. You use it to like learn about them, know about them. So that is how you'll be able to identify which particular threat actor group you're dealing with.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Who has question again? Yeah,
Okay. Hi, can you hear me?
yeah, I
Sorry,
can hear
can you
you.
hear me? Okay.
I can hear you.
I just wanted to add to what Olaiwola said about the difference between MAC address and IP address. Yeah.
Sorry,
Basically,
I didn't say anything. No, I was just asking a question.
yeah, I wanted to add to what you asked, the difference between like an IP address and an MAC address. I wanted to say that the simplified version would probably be the MAC address is who your system is or what your system is. Then the IP address is where your system is. For example, where should they send the data that you're looking for? Where exactly is that system on the grid so they can send it to? Pretty much. That's like what I wanted to say.
Okay, so the MAC address now is now my house address.
Yeah, IP address is yeah. Let's say MAC address is like who your system is. Let's like who your system because it's engraved in your hardware. Then IP address is where should like let's say you're using NPM to Google something now. So when your data provider sends something to Google, it's your IP address that they use to send what you Google back to you. Pretty much that's just it. That's the IP address, and that's like the difference between an IP address and a MAC.
I can't really hear you, yo. I think
Yeah, probably using noisy now. Does anybody have anything to add on like equation? Any question, please?
can I say something? Can I ask? Like, it is not a question though, but I joined the class late, so I just want to ask, like, this entire cohort, are we going to cover both the SOC part and the ethical hacking part?
When you mean that, do you mean like the practicals?
Yes.
I don't think so. It's going to
Okay,
be in
okay,
the
we are just okay, we
yeah,
are just focusing on the basics.
yeah, the basics. But then there are going to be like a bunch of practicals too. But then it's going to be like something beginner friendly.
Oh, so which nature are we focusing on in the practical aspect?
Stock.
SOC, okay. That means we are going
Yeah.
to be using SOC tools as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question, please? Any other question? Those your hand is still raised. I don't know if you still have any other question to ask.
I don't. Thank you.
Okay. So Larry, can you take over? Is there any other thing you can pass across to them? Okay, so the key takeaways that what we covered in this first module, we have the cybersecurity protects people and technology. Everything digital has value. And then the CIA triad is the foundation, which is like what cybersecurity is all about. Right? The three main things cybersecurity is hinged on. Then we also have like threat exploit vulnerabilities, like where we talked about the difference between threats, risk, and vulnerabilities. And then the next one is everyone has a role in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is not really meant for the technical people. It's meant for each and every one of us. It's meant for you. It's meant for myself. It's meant for even the non-technical ones. Because tell me a reason why a person that is security aware will easily fall victim to phishing attacks. It's going to be a little bit it's going to be a little bit difficult for them. Though all these attackers or threat actors are coming up with sophisticated means to trick people. But then when once a person is security aware, knows the basics, like it will be almost impossible. It will be almost impossible, nearly impossible for the person to like fall victim to threat to attacks like phishing or social engineering attacks. So each and every one of us will have a role to play in cybersecurity. Next one. I think I've already talked about this. So remember, cybersecurity is about living. It's not about living in fear. It's about living smart in a connected world. Because the truth is, security cannot be 100% assured. Security cannot be 100% achieved. There is going to be a loophole, whether you like it or not, in the apps that we create, in the solutions that we build, even in us as humans, there's going to be like a loophole, a weakness attackers are going to exploit. But then cybersecurity is talking about how prepared are we to like mitigate these things when they come up. When attack happens, do we just leave it to like cause get it like do we just leave it to cause a severe damage, or do we step in immediately to try to limit the damages it's going to cause? So cybersecurity does not assure us that it's going to be like a security is going to be 100% security, that we're going to achieve 100% security. No, it's saying that how prepared are we to like limit the effect, the damages that causes with that comes with security risks or attacks that come up anytime. How prepared are we to do that? So cybersecurity is not about living in fear. It's about living smart in a connected world. The next slide, please. Thank you. Thank you. So any question, any addition, anything you want to say, observation, things you want to say, anything you want to chip in. So nobody's talking, so I will just hand over to Larry to take over.
All right, thank you guys for joining today's class. I'm sure it was insightful. Everyone learns one or two things. Um, if you have a question, you can ask now because you have a global cybersecurity specialist in your midst. So if you have any question, just ask her.
Larry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah, I
you
can
now.
hear
Can
you
you hear
now.
me?
Can you hear you now? All right, sorry about that.
It's okay.
If you have guys, if you have any question, ask now. There is so much to learn in cybersecurity, and if you don't ask, you might be limited in your learning. Although the training is packed, but it's also okay if you do your personal research and ask questions. Sure, you get.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that this is the end of today's class. Or is there anything you want to add, Jerry?
No, that is one
No,
thing I want
that
to
is
add.
one thing.
I just want
All right
to
then. I just want
mention.
to mention.
Can
Okay,
you hear
okay.
me?
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah, I just want to mention that cybersecurity is not really something you would, approach in a day, and we try to like digest everything in a sitting or maybe within a few moments. So it requires continuous practice, continuous learning. There are materials out there. So you go on YouTube, go to explore other platforms where you can learn cybersecurity. YouTube alone has is a good wealth has a good wealth of cybersecurity simulations or materials you can learn, you can go through so that you can solidify your learning. Don't just depend on the class so that you can to learn cybersecurity. Do some workings on your own part so that you can be able to have like a basic understanding of everything we are doing here, and also you can come up with questions so we can discuss and interact. Yeah, so that's all. Thank you.
All right. So that marks the end of today's class. Thank you so much for joining. Is there any assignment for them? If there's any assignment, I'm sure Chinri will communicate it to the group.
Yeah, I'll share
Um,
it on the group.
yeah, I'll share it. All right then. So have a nice day. We'll see again on the next class this week.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.